Live and local here. We are live. Welcome back to the Carnivore Scott channel as I am working out all these different things. And feel free to jump into the chat box. You see it, it's available. It is available over there, right there, right there, which of course is the other side for me. So that throws me off a lot. And we're just going to take a moment here at the very early outset of this. And I want to just be able to say to individuals who will drop in today, or maybe someone will watch, who knows what happened here. We could go off the chain here and just end up with lots of people in here. I mean, it could happen. Just saying. But I want to give some thanks and some shout outs up front to people without shouting, because shouting's not cool. But I want to give some shout outs to some people, and I also want to ensure that something actually is working here. So as I do some of this magic behind me, please forgive me, because hey, I'm trying to figure out how to do all this, and what I really need to do is figure out how how I am coming across to people going live with the boobity boobity boop. Yeah, I gotta spell it right. See, so I'm still, today should be the last day. Carnivore, Carnivore or Scott. Yeah, because I have that much creativity in this little finger. Yep, there it is. It's supposed to be upcoming, and it should be live, and I am live. And there it is. I've got it in my ear, so we are just fine. We are hunky dory. So we're gonna take this. I'm gonna see if I can just put the volume down a little bit, so I don't have that little delay. But I have validated and verified the issue for me today that I have this going. Again, I wanted to start out with some shout outs. So let me do that. Let's get right into it. First, there's a user out there by the name of Linux, Linuxx. I just want to let Linux know that there are people out there that care about what you're going through. And in this carnivore community, it's really quite special. And hopefully, you feel this sense of caring in the responses you're getting on your channel. I mean, we all hope that we will embody and live out the way we say we will, but it's sometimes life gets in the way, right? So that's that. Then Poco Moonshine Family, my man, you are a hoot, and you're authentic, and it's great, your delivery. And I really like your focus. Your focus is with your family. Your focus is spot on with people. So again, good on you. Good on you. Moving on, Robert Bubba Baker. Again, I don't think you could get a more authentic individual in all those shorts you do, the 9 or 10, the 10 different things that you gave us as pearls of wisdom, and of course sharing your most personal aspects of your life with the issue with the family. Yeah, I'm just trying to be discreet there. I don't think that discretion is my strong suit, but I did want to say that I know it's important when you have issues in your family, and I guess in this carnivore way of life, there are many people in our family and in our circles of influence who are not going to be very agreeable, and as such, then we're stuck holding the bag of the proverbial flame and poo, right? It's no good. But I would I would soften that with, as you said, when people don't understand, they don't understand our whys, they don't understand the the viewpoint we hold based on um, our experiences, it's going to be very difficult. And in your reply to me, and you're telling me that things worked out, and things are going better. I mean, that's all to me. It's a result of your grace that you extended to your daughter for um, the previous emotional moment. So I look forward to seeing what you're going to do here over the coming days and months. I look forward to um, being a part of your journey, and with that, hopefully, as you invite us into your journey, we'll just get more of an opportunity, right? And we'll share some more things. Some things will be more personal than others, but in all things, in all things, we'll do it together, and doing it together means that we can really enjoy this process and lift each other up when we're down, and lift others up when they're down, and just wear that role over and over again. Moving on, Charlie Whiskey. I don't know if any of you got a chance to get up to see Charlie Whiskey. I'll put these people's links to these individuals' channels. But Charlie Whiskey, I think 150, give or take, plus or minus subscribers. I think today I'm at 75. Yeah, I'm at 75 subs today on the 9th of August. But no, Charlie Whiskey's doing good. Poco Moonshine out there, Robert Bubba Baker. Just you can't get more authentic. And congratulations there, Bubba, on your successes there, and meeting your intermediate slash short term goals. I mean, you're losing weight. It's steady, and hopefully this is bringing you a sense of accomplishment, and providing you with the grist to push forward. Then Lundwar. Oh man, congratulations, Lundwar. Good on you. Good on you for making good with picking up your goal there and getting to that goal. I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for your growth of your channel, and I'm exceedingly happy for you to make your personal goals as far as I don't want to say your weight, but that's what we're going to put down, because that's what we have to work with. So congratulations to you, Lawn War, for everything going on in your world. And if you're just dropping in again, I'm Carnivore Scott. Right now, I know my handle comes across as a carnivorvore. Carnivorvore. Yeah, carnivorvore. Maybe I'll have to keep that carnivorvore. But no, that was a fat fingered thing, and I will change that soon. So, all that being said, today's a big day, because today we have um, we have Kerry and Emma up in Alaska, and they are getting up there, and they're going to be getting together with Bill. So that's going to be overly exciting. I don't know how you can get more excited about something, but I just want to make sure I am on the right page here. Where are all my counts? All right. No, that's not it. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Okay there, Elmer. Let's go to this. We're doing too many things. We're opening lots of pages here. All right, we're in that one there. And now what we're going to do, we have ride share garage. Okay, I'm not sure of that. I want to go down. I don't. What I don't want to do. What I don't want to do is I don't want to step on other carnivores' channels being live this time. So I'm looking. I don't see Kerry and Emma doing a one from the phone. It doesn't mean they aren't doing it. I just don't see it. But let me see if I can look it up. We'll go to carnivores, and hopefully no one else is going live now. I don't get sideways with anybody, but one of the challenges for myself, and I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself. one of my challenges is that as a new person, you get out there and you're excited and you want to share with people. You want to ask questions. You want to mix it up, right? And you try to, and guess what? There's just a dearth of people. There's 3 or 4 channels out there that are, you know, sharing wisdom and including people. Of course, the people who have a better understanding of what they've been doing, they've been out there for a year and they've had a success. Something tells me that a person who loses 100 pounds on carnivore, they have a lot of credibility pretty quickly, And of course, who doesn't want to say? I'm looking at one right now from Homestead How, from 413 pounds to 246. Damon's story, live Q&A. Damon looks awesome. And so, of course, you're going to want to tune into that and see the thing. Or if you're like Dr. Anthony Chafee, of course, you're going to tune into that. That guy is, he's chiseled. He built like a brick outhouse, and he's got a brain to match, and he has a great personality on the screen. He's charming, humble. You want to watch that. And then there's the minimalist carnivore. Been on this 2.5+ years, right? And he walked the walk. He talked the talk. Of course, Dr. Sean Baker, all the other people, and so of course you're going to bring people in. But for some of the people who've just started, it's hard to get your voice heard in what's becoming a more and more crowded field of successful carnivores. And so, of course, Dr. Ken Berry, I mean, come on, he is the sine qua non of all this. I mean, with his what is it? Yeah, I'm looking at one here from 2 years ago. One video that's 492,000 views. So yeah, that's the guy. You wouldn't call him a 600-pound gorilla because he doesn't have that big of a colon to digest cellulose matter. So don't go there. Not with that. But anyway, and then of course you have carnivorous me, successful out there, just getting it done. So what I hope to do with this is to provide a forum where new people, shy people, people who are just out looking for an opportunity to listen to things can come in and they can share their story and listen to people and be able to have an opportunity to listen to different viewpoints because a lot of carnivores come into this space from one of uh, having done keto, right? And there's nothing wrong with keto. Come on, I mean, keto, like I said, for a lot of people, that's the way to go. And I know that Kerry over at Homestead Now, his wife is doing or had done some instant carnivore, had some of that significant, severe keto flu, and so she backed off for a while, went in the keto route, got her body ready, so that when she came back to carnivore, she's not just debilitated by everything that comes along with it. I mean, I know a lot of people when they go into an all meat diet, they have some problems with loose stools, diarrhea, and we all know that there's some times when you just can't trust your body. The signals you think you're getting, no, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that experience. Nobody wants to feel like they have to stay um, within 20 feet of their throne room, right? So enough said about that. Upset stomach, your body changing. Earlier today, Landwar was remarking in his daily, I don't know if it's daily, but his latest update, that this morning, I mean, he used to have blood sugars up into the 200s plus, but now his blood sugars are sub 100 to maybe 107. Oh, fantastic blood sugar. But this morning's blood sugar was elevated like at 125. And he was like, what gives with that? Well, again, I'm not a doctor. Show notes say it. I'm not a doctor. I didn't play a doctor. Not a medical professional. I didn't sleep in a chain hotel. So go see a doctor if you do anything. Anything I say is not to be construed as medical advice. Well, that being said, and I'm glad I said it. That being said, for Londwar, the 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 opportunity there is that perhaps his endocrine system is getting back into healthy healthy environmental processes. And the reason I say that is it's my understanding, imperfect as it may be, but it is my understanding that oh, look at that. Carnivore Today is live with Poco Moonshine Family. Well, gosh darn it. I'm going to have to send him a note to say apologize. But yeah, I'm glad I got that notification. But, it's my understanding that for the healthy average individual, you have a circadian rhythm in which your body at about 3:30, 4:30, you pick your numbers. The brain starts doing some things to prepare you to wake up, and one of those things is you start secreting cortisol. Well, we all know cortisol is kind of like a stimulant. It's not bad, and it's used in its intended purposes. It's not bad. If you're in a constant high cortisol state, that can have significant consequences. So we want to diminish the stress as much as we can. But that whole thing of cortisol starts a process in your body to create energy for that fight or flight thing, right? That's my understanding. So as your body gets up in the morning and a little bit of cortisol starts to be released in response to that, your body starts to make a little more blood sugar to get you juiced up and ready to go. Well, if the blood sugar goes up, some more automatic or some sensing system starts, hey, we have an increase in blood sugar, right? So you start to wake up, you start to get hungry. I guess the ghrelin is overpowering the leptin, and say, hey, let's get up, let's go out, let's go. We gotta go find some food, we gotta go do something, Oh, hey, by the way, the bladder, I'm down here. Hello. Gotta go. And so boom, and you're up. So it's a very common thing. I do believe they have a moniker for that morning spike in your blood glucose. So you wait till 9 or 10 o'clock as it's diminished if you haven't eaten, and your blood sugar goes down because your insulin came in and said, oh, look, I'm here to save the day because I'm Mr. Insulin. Yay! And insulin does its job. And insulin is a required hormone. It does more than just blood sugar. It's important in many, many, many things, as I've heard doctors on this here YouTube University tell us. Obviously, too much, no bueno, right? And that's one of the things that really irks me is so much focus being on blood sugar. Now, it's a leading indicator, I think. It's a good thing to start with. But I really wish that there was a focus on your insulin condition that was as easy as, the finger stick. If if they wanted it, they'd make it. And if they made a home testing kit, people would buy it. But then you bypass laboratories and you bypass doctors because who knows, you might actually start taking control those factors that influence that are in your control. Like, it's in our control whether we smash our thumbs with a hammer. Now, you may smash your thumb with a hammer, and you may do it again and again. Okay, I'm sorry, a Devo. Um, but you may smash your finger. You may put your hand on the hot stove. After you learned your lesson, those are your choices. You may feel motivated to put your hand on the stove, because you don't want that plastic spoon to melt. But the consequence stays the same, right? Well, we have a choice generally. Now, I used to be an absolutist about this, but I have learned that addiction is addiction is addiction. And so, what are you going to do? I mean, it just doesn't ring as authentic and compassionate to say that a person who is suffering or who is engaged or under the influences of an addiction to say, "Oh, you just stop doing that. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You know it. Why don't you do it?" Well, you don't do it because it's hard. You don't do it because there are powerful forces working in your body. These hormones are not to be trifled with. And we're led to believe that, just eat this standard American diet, eat this food. It's a pyramid, and a lot of doctors got involved in it. And the doctor tells you, that podiatrist really understands what your nutritional needs are. Okay. So, but to piggyback on what we said last night, let's be compassionate. Compassionate carnivore. Compassionate. The root words, com and patri. Com means with, patri, suffering. So with suffering means we walked a mile or two in that person's shoes, or we at least have empathized or can sympathize with the person who's in those shoes. So you're a doctor, you're doing lots of pre-med, you're doing lots of doctoring stuff, and you're really working hard to understand the human anatomy and the systems and the subsystems and the chemistry, right? There's so much to learn. I mean, it's just not the arm bone connected to the shoulder bone, whatever that song is, I mean, every single bone has a prescribed um, set of features that have a name. So there's a little dip in a bone where maybe a tendon attaches, or there's a rise in the bone, or whatever it is, or where muscles ride over something. All of them have different names. And then whether it's distal or whether it's proximal, anterior, posterior, superior, inferior, all these different labels, because medicine is that difficult, let alone for someone who becomes a specialist like Dr. Fung, Jason Fung, who's a nephrologist, all the medical school, then into beginning nephrology, middle nephrology, end of nephrology, all those things. I mean, they are in school for a long time. So that they only get a week, 2 hours of nutritional training, okay, let's give them 10 hours. What's enough? 20 hours? We don't even agree on nutritionists. What do we want to do? Program them with that learning track that's driven by the standard American diet, the big food companies, and agriculture, and all that? No. So let's show some grace. Let's let the medical professionals come to their understanding like we did. We had to come to it. I'm 61 years old. I've been dieting for quite a while, but the idea of really taking the reins and trying to learn some of the terminology and learn the physiology of this stuff, that's my responsibility. I remember as my kids were growing up that I would ask them questions, and we'd share all sorts of things. Then one day they'd be sick, and I said, "What's wrong?" And they said, "Well, Dad, it hurts in my tummy." And I'm thinking, Okay, upset stomach, acid reflux, a chronic drainage from their nose and sinuses. I'm wanting to investigate what's wrong with that place that goes from the pyloric valve on one end, the esophagus and all that, because it all goes down to the beginning of to the duodenum. What's going on with that little thing? Now, ask them questions that I think are good. Do we need to do a Pepto Bismol? Do we need to get water? We have a hydration problem. Did you eat something bad? All those things, right? And then come to find out, no, they're constipated because their belly is everything basically from here to the nether regions, right? How many things are in your body from here to your nether region? I got almost all your organs, right? Good chunk of skin, your intestine, your liver, your pancreas, your spleen, and on and on and on and on, right? And it's just my stomach hurts, or yeah, my leg hurts. Well, what part of your leg? The front, the back, the top, the bottom? How does it hurt? When does it hurt? These are all things running through my head. Well, you know, if we don't learn to be able to communicate as adults to our medical professionals, hey, now we're not going to go to them as Google Docs. I know they don't like that. Trust me, I found out. But go in there and have some specificity. Don't tell a doctor what the problem is. Don't tell the doctor what you think should be done, but convey to the doctor with specificity. Hey, doc, it hurts when I do this. So then the doctor say, well, don't do that. No, you need to be able to. Hey, when I lift up my arm to the front, I feel pretty good with my shoulder. But if I try to lift my arm up to the back, I can't get to the middle of my back. It's just sharp, shooting pains. Oh well, maybe we have a rotator cuff issue. We don't know. Well, what were you doing? Well, I was swimming and I went to the wall to do a flip and a turn, and my arm kind of got caught on the walls, and I kicked off in an awkward angle. Oh, okay. Well, we'll take a look at that. Then we have to understand what doctors go through. I had a chance. I worked in a hospital for a number of years, and my job was as a data quality manager. But I was kind of like the fireman. I did lots of investigative type things, looking into data and taking that data and either digging in deeper or pulling out. So, in looking at medical codes, because I don't know if you know this, but medical codes drive medicine because medical codes is how you get paid. So there is a philosophical approach whereby uh, uh, um, how they escalate um, diagnostics. You come in and you say, "Hey, doc, it hurts when I do this." Well, what were you doing? I was playing some tennis, or what's that thing, pickleball? Yeah, I was out playing pickleball, and now my arm hurts. And so the doctor's going to do some tests. They all fancy names for these tests, but they're going to check your ability to grip and hold out, hold in, move up, move down, left, right, handshake. They're gonna touch and feel and palpitate the area. See, oh, is it tender here, 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 here? Where's it tender? They're going to bring in all these factors and they're going to put them into like a Rubik's matrix, right? And they're going to follow the little things, go, well, let's see, soft tissue injury, because it's the first you've heard about it. You were doing something in sports, so they're going to err maybe on the side of a soft tissue injury, and they're going to tell you, hey, here's some Motrin, or take this Advil, whatever, and take that, 3, 4, 5, whatever times a day. Do it for 2 weeks, and then we'll see how you're doing. Give me a call. So you go through 2 weeks. Ah, man, it's really still hurting, and you're mad. You're like, Doc, take an X-ray. You're like, take an X-ray. So now it hurts. 2 weeks gone by. I say, Doc, it still really hurts. The doc comes in, we go through the same thing again, some more questions about things, maybe a blood test, and then it's okay, we'll send you down for an X-ray. Oh, you go, you get an X-ray. X-rays come back, and you get a referral or whatever it is. You go back to your doc, and the doc says, "Yeah, everything looks fine. All the radiologist says is everything's looking grossly intact, nothing significant in any of your arm complex, right?" And you're like, "Man, but it's still sore and it still hurts." And limitations, and they're going to do a few more manipulations and things like that. And you say, "Doc, can I get an MRI?" And finally, the doc says, "Okay, we'll send you in for an MRI." They send you in for an MRI, and you find out you got a partial rotator cuff tear, or a tear in your labrum, or maybe you have a bone spur. Right? The doctor said, well, it turns out you have a bone spur or you have a partial tear. Well, oh my gosh, now the discussion about surgery. And the whole time you say, well, why couldn't you have sent me to get an MRI 4 weeks ago? Why did I have to wait in pain for 4 weeks to find out I may or may not need surgery? I need to get a referral down to the orthopedic surgeon, someone like a Dr. Baker. So you're really mad. You're grousing about it. Well, here's the deal. At least I knew in Army medicine. You've got to wait a couple of weeks. You just don't want to willy-nilly give out these expensive tests until they're really either necessary, they're validated. I mean, if I don't know the percentage of shoulder injuries that are, let's say, I'm gonna go with medium or mild rotator cuff injuries versus a chip or some other type of a dislocation, whatever. Right? So if you have a tear, you know, not the worst thing. Your whole life is not going to end, generally speaking. I know I had my tear and I had it for years. Okay, it was uncomfortable. I didn't like it. Sometimes I'm like, ow, I felt crippled, but it wasn't life threatening. It just bothered me. And really, quite honestly, no, that's not really a big driver to the medical system. The driver is, did you follow the protocol? NSAIDs first, non-anti-inflammatory steroid medicines. Did you try one of those? Non-steroid inflammatory, yeah. NSAID, sorry. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Tylenol. And if that calms it down, then we know we're on to a small thing that we can just let the tissues calm down and get rid of inflammation. All of you carnivores, you know about the inflammation, right? So we want to get the inflammation out. But you got to follow the protocol because the medical code, you say you came in with a sore arm. You didn't say I came in with the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. You didn't come in saying that you couldn't sleep. And then when they did the test, because some people will say it, oh, doc, talking to the nurse advice line or to a triage nurse, you want to get in. And, oh, yeah, I'm having a hard time breathing. I fear for my well-being. I'm on a scale of 1 to 10, my pain is 42, right? So you get in, and they get you in that same day appointment, a more expensive appointment for your insurance, et cetera, ad nauseum. And you go in and go, yeah, well, see, doc, it hurts when I do when I do this, it hurts, I'm just, well, doc, well, you can't sleep when when are you doing this at night? Is that why you can't sleep? No one can sleep like that. But anyway, you're gaming the system, maybe. I'm not going to accuse you. Could be. It might be. I'm not going to say I didn't do it before myself. But the idea is when the doc goes through all the protocol and he takes down all his notes, he gets assigned a code for what they did. And that code has to match up to the things they did during their appointment. And then if the code matches, they get, in the military system, they'll get points. And I guess in the civilian one, it's worth dollars. The insurance company says if you do a growth body check, you do a vitals, you do a palpitation, and you get the clinical history and things of that nature, you'll get $250 from us. But you said, but I did this, and this. I ordered X-rays. I go, on what basis did you order X-rays? Did you wait 2 weeks? We're not paying you unless you go through the protocol. So the doctor said, well, I want to get paid, so let me, or the doctor does his own, the sky is falling to the insurance company, but that only lasts for so long, so much, a little give and take there, right? So the whole idea of this is the medical system is driven by those diagnostic codes which drive the bottom line. And if you say, hey, I'm going to send them right away to an MRI in the military medical health system, that's not going to float. You'll be standing in front of your commander, explaining to your commander, why are 40 or 50% 60% of your MRI referrals, not soft tissue damage, not unremarkable, nothing to be seen. How come you send people to get MRIs before they have X-rays, right? Why are you getting X-rays from Jump Street for something that was like an inflammatory type of situation? And so doctors get trained to behave in a certain way. Uh, uh, the quality people in the facility get used to a certain way, looking for certain things, and all that equals out to what we see today. And there's a standard of care. The standard of care is what reasonable doctors would do in a general sense across a population. It's reasonable. You came in, you say you got a little sore, you play tennis. It's a soft tissue issue, inflammatory. We went ahead and did a quick check, and you're off on your way with some over-the-counter medicines. That's the way it works. So when you know how to define things and explain things, and hey, well, I don't know, I would say, like if you're a weightlifter, any accomplished weightlifter will probably be able to say, well, my pectoral muscle really, really hurts, or maybe my quadricep, or my hamstring, my glutes, right? My gastroc, something hurts there, you know what I mean? I remember one time my son was in the military in basic training, and they had a requirement to do a bunch of sit-ups, and he was doing his sit-ups, and he didn't do them fast, but he did them a long time. Pretty soon, didn't feel so good. Finally, they told him, stop doing sit-ups. You're done. We got to go on and do something else. You could do a lot of sit-ups. I mean, a lot. And so he goes off and starts, going through life for a couple of days, and he realizes, man, I don't feel good. My tummy hurts. We're back to tummy. And and so in all that, it's like it's like never learned a lesson. Um, everybody thinking he's constipated. It's basic training. Everybody's stressed. Are you drinking enough? Are you eating the right things? You're just constipated. So they put him on the protocol for constipation. Yeah, wasn't constipated. Now, he might have been constipated, but the constipation was the result of he'd done so many sit-ups he had tore his abdominal muscles. Yeah, and so that was the problem. And as a result of all that soreness, he'd lost motility and da, 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 da. So now they knew what to do. And he couldn't do the PT and the thing for a number of weeks. And it was really a boohoo moment for him because he was doing so well. But it's a life lesson, right? Sorry for you. You had such a strong core. Must have been your mother. Sure wasn't me. But well, you got it from me. But the idea there being, we went all the way back to tummy again. Helping the doctors understand things will facilitate your treatment. Understanding the gross anatomical structure will help your doctor find and get to the core of something, to the root of it. Because when they do a rubric, rubric? Are we familiar with rubric? That's like, I remember in school, that was a table. It was a roadmap. If you want an A, we expect the thing to be done. If it's on a paper, right? Let's say it's a paper. Well, it has to have so many pages. Did you meet the pages? An A paper might have 5 pages. A B paper, 4 pages, ad nauseum. And then we'll say syntax and complexity of sentence structure, number of references. If you want an A, you had to have at least 3 or 5 references, right? And citations, and then it would go to all these things, that categories what you'll be graded at, and then the level that you needed to perform at. So you go, I want an A on this paper. It's going to be 5 pages long. It's going to have 5 citations. It's going to have this and that, and I'm going to use, college level writing skills, which, oh, by the way, I didn't possess at the beginning, but I caught on. I have a son, the other son, he's really gifted. He would help Dad. He would take me through tutoring and read all my papers and say, Dad, what are you saying here? You got lost. You put a comma, and then you went off, and you never came back. I like these conversations. Well, anyhow, the rubric. Doctors use the same thing. They may call something different, a diagnostic tool. I did this, I did this, I did this. I saw this result, this result, this result. Like asthma. Asthma is not a disease. It has a singular um, uh, symptom, that they can say, oh, that's asthma. Like, let's say, what's a good disease that has like type 2 diabetes, right? Type 2 diabetes is a subset of a metabolic dysfunction, right? So if you have metabolic disease, you're going to have a multitude of things. You're going to be overweight, your blood sugar is going to be out of whack, you're going to have this, you're that, and it's okay. You have metabolic syndrome, syndrome X, or well, anyway, there's a number of things that are like that take a number of things that come in, like maybe fibromyalgia, lupus. I mean, I'm just picking some out of the air. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not a doc. However, all that again, having been said, uh, we are responsible, and we would do well to understand this. Now, how does this uh, intertwine in the conversation with carnivore and a carnivore lifestyle? Well, the way I see it is we are an experiment of one. You've probably heard of N of one. That just means one person. Sometimes it's N5, sometimes it's N1352. Sometimes these really long studies will have thousands of people. Well, we are N of one, and we're all unique and individual. I remember I had some surgery for thoracic outlet syndrome, and you might have heard me talk about that before. But when they had me opened up, well, first they did a bunch of studies. They shoved cameras all over the place in my chest, and what happened there is they wanted to make sure they had the best lay of the land as they could. So dyes and pictures and MRIs and also ultrasounds, every different way they could look at me and slice me to make sure when they got to cutting and they pulled my jugular and everything off to the side and started filleting muscles out of me, that they weren't running into anything unusual. Now, if you go look at an anatomy and physiology book, you're going to see the standard drawings. You're going to say, hey, oh, look, there's an arm bone, or there's, this or that, your tarsals, metatarsals, carpals, there's whatever, your occipital. You're going to see all those different bones. And then you're going to open a person up and you say, hey, what's this extra rib? Whoa, where did this come from? Well, for me, I had extra little artery. It's just like a little stub of an artery. Hey, let's put an artery. Oh, no, guys. We called off the work order. We don't need that. That's in the wrong place. We need you guys to pick your tools up. You got to move over here. That's where the artery is supposed to be. Sorry about that. Mix up. But little extra pieces and things, Your nerves don't lay all in the same little patterns, or your veins, or your or arteries and stuff like that. There's a little wiggle room. Not everybody is perfectly together. So an N of one is actually really kind of natural. But we try to lump things in so we can make graphs, we can make general assumptions. And we all know about assumptions, right? If you know yourself and you're doing an N of one with carnivore, you're going to sense the differences. Who's going to know better than you that your inflammation is decreased? Oh no, that's your go, right? So I think that the idea there is, huh? The idea. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that my stream was working. Okay, I'm still there, my stream, and had two, but now we have one, and we've been in about 44 minutes. A long stream. That's what I do. But as an N of one, you're going to know about your inflammation. You're going to know how well you feel in the morning. And that's real important stuff. And so I just think that we would all be well served to know more about what's going on. I am hopeful that those people who are getting into the carnivore way of life and who are listening to the Ken Berries and Sean Bakers and Dr. Kills, who I remember he was on day before yesterday, was it, or yesterday, and was talking about fertility and carnivore and proteins and carbohydrates and how those interact with the fertility systems and with our body in general. But anyway, they can have a lot of great information, and it'd be good to be able to understand and follow what they're saying. So it's a passion of mine, as you can tell, and I don't know that in the long run it amounts to a hill of beans. I don't know if anybody gives a large rodent's rectum about it. For me, I think it's important, and as such, if we find one or two people interested and they want to know more about it, then it's worthwhile to talk about. It's worthwhile to have people come up on the net and say, "Hey, I'm wondering why is my blood sugar spiking? Oh, it's called the dawn effect. Oh, it happens a lot. Nothing to worry about. Maybe that spurs an interest into learning more about your endocrine system. Or then you're starting to learn about your ghrelin and your leptin, right? And next thing you know, you're starting to learn things even further down in the system. Like I've been looking at and researching stearic acid, C18. I think I'm going to evangelize that until somebody tells me stop, or until a medical professional says stop. But that stearic acid is something that all of us carnivores are getting more of than we've gotten previously. The stearic acid, long chain fatty acid, found in beef and found in tallow and lard and found in some other things, and also cocoa butter, right? The highest concentration per 100 grams is in cocoa butter, about 44 grams, so 44%. But when you find out that this stearic acid is a critical element for, well, I'd say critical. Let's say this, it's a very effective element on your mitochondrial health and mitochondrial function, so much so that they're studying it now for cognitive disorders and I would say brain disorders, I think a better word, but things like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, which I know sometimes people refer to as type 3 diabetes. It also is important for maybe for other neurological disorders like those, right? And that the whole idea being is that if your mitochondria are happy and functioning fully, if they're going through their life cycle of apoptosis, if they're able to combine and do things they need to do, and those little engines in there, they're working so hard and they're pumping out things on that proton pump, the ATP is just running around in there, and all those hundreds of millions and billions of ATPs in your body are working at peak efficiency, going through their life cycle, autophagy working for them, your autophagy working, your all that within the cell. So, when we think of things, we think on a grand scale. I put a hamburger in my mouth. I chewed it up, I swallowed it. My tummy worked on it. It went through my belly. Remember the belly? And it's out of here. Not realizing the tremendous number of things that are going on, even within the intestinal tract in different places. You got a jejunum, you've got a ascending and a transverse and a descending colon. You've got your whole small intestine that has a tremendous number of sites that are really special, so that when people get like a colostomy bag, It can be an ileostomy because it's where it's located in the small intestines and what type of bag it is. So the whole idea being is there's so much complexity. And um, as you go into the rabbit hole, because you started getting interested about, well, why is this carnivore thing working for me? Why didn't anything else work before? Well, you got to ask questions. With questions, there can come some answers. With answers, as you get to a higher degree of specificity, of a granularity, there's going to be more vocabulary, and then you're going to start learning about things. And I know that people use words like kinases and what was that one, the storm, cytokine storms, or whatever it is. All these things you'll hear in the news, and someone will pick up on a cool word, and you'll go start to research it. And as you go through that, you become empowered, and you realize maybe that caffeine in the morning, maybe you don't need it. Maybe that coffee isn't working great for you. I'm not completely off of coffee yet. Could be. That's some sitting right there. But I'm not completely off. Will I be better without it? Probably. Am I going to get off of it? Yeah. Today? No. Tomorrow? Yeah. I do know I used to drink 3, 4, 5 pots a day, and I used to put sugar in it. So basically, it was coffee flavored sugar water. So I probably put 2 tablespoons of sugar in a cup of coffee with a creamer. That wasn't good. Didn't bother me though when I was healthy. See, that's another confounding aspect. Healthy people can do a lot of things that us folks who aren't quite as healthy can't do. You know what I mean? Whereas unhealthy people can do lots of healthy things and still have problems. Well, I guess if you look at it like a scale, you're healthy and you have a lot of vitality and you're active and you're strong and your mind is engaging, you're inquisitive, you just go, go, go. So you have a pizza and some donuts, you have a couple pots of coffee. Hey, go, 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 go. But one day, for almost everybody, let's go 99.8% of people, there'll be a day you slow down. There'll be a day you get a desk job, fall down your stairs, get hit by a car, get caught on fire, whatever happens to you. And you slow down. Your habits don't change. We all know this story. We've heard this story. And again, your condition changes, your habits keep going. And then one day, your habits have snowballed to so much, kind of like debt. Snowballed so much that you can't see your way out of it. And maybe you surrender to it. And one day you wake up and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then you take charge. 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, 60 years of abuse. And you think in 3 days it's going to be better? Well, I know it is carnivore, but it's just not so clear cut. But what is interesting is, I'll take myself. See, 40 years of poor dietary habits. 40 years. We could take it down to 35, go in a year or two where it's good. It could be 35 years, 30 years. 30 years of bad, bad habits over 60 years. And here I am. It's not going to get better in a day. What is interesting, if you look at Kerry from Homestead How, and you look at so many other people, Sean and other folks who've done wonderful, and the intentional carnivore, people like that. Well, you find out 1 year of discipline and roll back 30 years of abuse. So in reality, it's more effective, more efficient to be healthy. That's the way it is. I don't make the rules. I didn't build the systems. I just have one. I've taken poor care of it. And here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. We've been on pretty close to an hour, and this hasn't drawn a lot of folks in. I'm not going to give up. I'll be back. I'm going to be kind of like a bad penny, a bad dream. I won't go away because this is my accountability tool. So what I think I'll do, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this live up and go check out what's going on in some other channels. Maybe record another video just to put up on a regular channel, not the live channel, and just see how things are going. But I will say this: in my next video that I'm going to post up, I'll be talking about weight goals, some measurements, and things going on that are more pertinent to go in that type of format. And we'll do this again on another night. This is Wednesday night, August the 9th, and we'll try that on Thursday night, August the 10th. And on Friday night, maybe not. We might do a little bit. I know that some other folks do some panels. I might just want to try to jump in there. And then next Monday, we'll rinse and repeat best as we can. We all live lives. We're all busy. We all have things to do. So with that, I'm going to let you get some time back in your day. I know this is like an hour long. I don't expect anybody to watch it to the end. Heck, I barely watched it to the end and I was here. But they say that the success of a YouTube channel for new YouTubers is get out there, mix it up, meet some folks, go on the channel, see what works, try to do it yourself, make some videos, put them up, and see what type of format works for you and how people respond to it. And I've been around long enough to know that I'll do that. Now, I may not master the technology. I may not master the graphics and make the super cool thumbnails. I only have 1.5 thumbs, so I'm already behind the power curve there. But we'll be out there, chipping away at it. I'll be out there watching y'all. I'll be interacting with you on your videos, and I may chat a lot because that's what I like to do. So with that being said, I'm going to let you go. God bless. Y'all take care and have a great rest of your day, whatever day this is, all right?